Story time on my past life regression meditation that I did last night. I followed the Brian Weiss past life regression meditation, and it was pretty powerful. So let's talk about it. I've never done a past life regression before. I've done meditations before, but this is a first for like that avenue with me. I wasn't sure what to expect. I had been wanting to do it for a couple weeks, but I was kind of not putting it off, but just really unsure of what to expect and if I could really like get there in meditation. And I did. Overall, it was like a 30 to 40-minute meditation. I did it right before bed, like just in that cozy state, pajamas, like blankets, all the things. And then after it was all done, I like journaled it out and whoa. So initially you're asked to go to your like a childhood memory, and I found one when I was 6 years old, and it made me feel really happy because it was my birthday, and I picked up different details that I hadn't quite remembered. I'm 40, and so it's been a while since I've thought about it, but I saw the outfit that I was wearing and the people around and the Barbie I forgot that I had that birthday. It was really cool. And then the meditation brought me back to in utero, in this current lifetime, in my mom's womb. And it was pretty amazing and pretty intense, and I could hear the outside, and then it's like this birthing, right? And I actively went through and that birthing process like quickly. It wasn't drawn out, and saw my mom and saw, the people in the room and things like that. It was really amazing. And then I was asked to go back further, and it turns out I was a woman named Anne Marie, or Anna, in 1600s London. And the moment I got to this space, I looked down to see my shoes, my feet, and I was wearing these like brown, kind of flats looking thing, shoe. And cobblestone, wet cobblestone. And I was in this like dull blue garb dress, situation, and like kind of my head back with like a, head cover thing. I don't know, something like that. And I was carrying a basket, and the basket had a bunch of different cloths that were like cut, and I was walking somewhere, but basically it was kind of like a busier, narrow way with like these taller buildings on each side. And in the moment, I didn't know where I was as far as like a location, but I did keep getting 1600s, but I didn't know exactly. It felt like England. It was like I just kept hearing England, and I didn't really pay attention much more to that, except for then my surroundings and the details of that. And then I was brought to I wouldn't say a dungy room, but it definitely was not like a well-lit place. It was more of like there's a bed in there, and I was assisting with a labor and delivery process. Now, this was not a hospital. This was definitely off the books, but there was a woman that I was watching this as like a third party, like watching myself assist, standing next to this woman laboring, while, comforting her and listening to the person actually like delivering this baby. And it was kind of a busier space in the room, a lot of movement. It felt like maybe 3 or 4 of us helping this woman, but then like there were other women coming in from off the streets to kind of also gain help who were in similar situation. I remember I was watching myself, wipe the kind of like the sweat off of this laboring woman, and really just like holding her hand, but also again paying attention to the person who was delivering the baby and being mindful of the directions and the orders being given there. The best way I can put it is like I was an unofficial assistant to an unofficial midwife. But the people who were coming in, these women who were coming in who needed help, it was very much in my space, my energy space, where it was like prostitutes and people who really needed help in these situations, that either it was like a local woman who needed assistance with labor and delivery or birthing or other sort of like obstetrics. But we were well known, but again, totally off the books. So in this past life regression, it does bring you to the ending point of that past life. So when I die, to put it bluntly, it's not scary, it's not harmful, it doesn't hurt, it's nothing like that. Basically, when I was brought to that point of the ending of that life, I was brought to kind of like a farm where I just saw a bunch of like green grass, and there were like trees in the background, and there was like a wooden fence, like But basically, there was this horse that was brown with like a black mane and black tail. And I was working around. This is like, it felt like this is where me and a couple other women lived. In the in between of like when we were helping in this like more city area with the labor and delivery. And I was just helping around doing my chores, whatever. And I don't know if the horse got spooked, but basically it bucked and it hit me in the chest and like knocked me down, obviously, and killed me pretty instantly. There were two other women who were around and kind of either saw this or heard this happen, and they yelled, Anne Marie, one did, and then the other one was like, Anna, and like ran to me, and basically I was kind of already gone. And now when I'm laying in my bed doing this past life regression, I am sobbing. I can just feel I'm in a deep space, but the tears are just running and I am just like crying this out, right? And then the meditation brings me to like, okay, you are light, like this is okay. This was all part of the plan, whatever. And I immediately stopped crying. And I just felt so light and so peaceful. And then I was able to, in that moment, meet a new spirit guide of mine. She came across as like this angelic, like these beautiful like wings that are just, I didn't see her face, but I just like saw these beautiful wings kind of like floating, and like she definitely had long hair, and it looks if I like go into it right now, it looks like really long blonde hair. Also in this past life when I was like in the 1600s, I had like gold blonde hair that was just like super wavy and so thick. Anyway, back to this guide. So this guide, it was really beautiful, but then it was also shifting into what looked like a barn owl, like with these really beautiful wings. And I heard Marta, but it's spelled Martha. And so that's a new guide that I have. And so I'm learning her now, and it's really cool because it was like, what are the messages that you have for me? And right now it's just like that I'm loved, and that I am not alone, and that I am, tracking in alignment here. And then she like put her hand out onto my chest, and it just felt so comforting. And what I'm learning about her is that she's actually a guide that I have from birth to death with each incarnation that I journey upon. So then I went down, I come out of this meditation, and I immediately grab my journal and start writing. So some of the aha moments that this gave me was it made me realize why I have in this current physical lifetime, why I am so deathly afraid of horses. I love horses. I find them incredibly majestic. I am a Sagittarius, where we have a centaur, so like half horse, but there is truly this just innate discomfort when I am around horses to like a certain degree, and like to the point where I will start like hyperventilating and like crying. Like that's just me. So now I understand why. And also when it comes to like the birthing part in these women, I am so pro women's healthcare and human rights and basic essential needs for just all humans. And if you get in the way of that, I become enraged. There's like this justice warrior in me that just is constantly searching, and how can I help you in this manner? Now, my name Sandra in this lifetime is helper of mankind, helper of people. Like that's the meaning of it. And I do feel that this is carried out throughout every single incarnation that I have. That's some version of helping people. Also in this lifetime, I remember being younger and being like, I never have this. People picture their wedding day. People picture having kids. That was never me. It makes sense to me that that kind of piece carried with me because I saw the health dealings and the hardships of these women going through these things as potential mothers if they so chose to do that, and the lack of support from surrounding people. It just all tracks. Everything in that past life regression was really amazing, and I highly recommend it. It's on YouTube. It's free. I'll see if I can link it here, just like put a picture up. But yeah, there we go. If you've made it this far, thanks for sticking around. Also reminded me of when I went to Ireland and I got to hold a barn owl named Pickles. Now I know it was Marta.